Mayor, before you start, happy birthday. Feliz cumpleaños.
Muchas gracias. Good afternoon, everyone. You know, my staff asked me what I wanted for my birthday. I was thinking maybe it would be something like a cake, something traditional. Instead, they said, let's do an executive budget presentation. So, you get to experience it with me. I want to express my appreciation to our OMB Director, Dean Foulahan, and his extraordinary staff. They have worked intense hours over these last weeks and months. And we have been here burning the midnight oil many a time. And thank you to all the members of the administration who contributed so much to the process of arriving at this executive budget. It's been a painstaking process, but one that I think will be reflected positively in the product. We are going to go over this. I'll give my remarks. Dean will give some remarks. We'll go to questions. Just emphasizing at the beginning, all questions today will be on the topic of the budget. And executive budget for fiscal 2015 will be $73.9 billion. $73.9 billion. We arrived at this budget with really a fantastic partnership from the City Council, from Speaker Mark Viverito and all of her colleagues, and from working with elected officials and community leaders all over the city as we developed a number of our initiatives. We'll continue to have a collaborative process for the remainder of the budget season leading up to adoption in June. The City Council, of course, will start its hearings soon and work with us towards adoption. Now, let me state something at the outset. Budgets are not just a collection of numbers. They're not just accounting documents. They reflect fundamental values. And you ask someone what they fund, you will be able to see what they actually believe in. I think in this budget, you will see clearly what I believe in, what this administration believes in. I like to quote some of my heroes, one of them in particular, Mayor Theodore LaGuardia. He said he had a golden rule for his administration. He said, quote, do after the election as you said you would do before the election. I think that typifies a lot of what we try to do in these months. It's something we believe in, and that has led us to creating a budget that reflects three core values, the same that we talked about at the time of the preliminary. A budget that is responsible, progressive, and honest. Responsible, because we know the first thing we have to achieve in the budget process is to be fiscally prudent, to be smart about where we stand now and where we need to stand in the future. We, in this budget, are straightforward about the structural deficits we face going forward. We're straightforward about the challenges we face and some of the advantages we bring to bear. And we're sober about what we need to address, and we've tried to show that approach with our labor contracts, taking a situation that for years was unresolved and actually getting to the kind of resolution that allows us to plug in specific numbers. You'll see throughout this presentation a lot of things that were not clear in previous years. Budgets are suddenly becoming clear because for the first time you're going to have real numbers. Because of the labor settlement that we're in the process of achieving, obviously, I hasten to add there are ratification votes ahead and individual union contracts ahead, but because we've made this substantial progress, we're able now to project a real budget, not just a theory, but something that we believe will hold over the years ahead. I remind you that we inherited 152 unresolved labor contracts, again, an unprecedented reality in the history of the city. Some dated as far back as 2008. There had never been such a difficult task in terms of labor relations in the history of the city. There had never been such fiscal uncertainty when it came to labor as to have all of our contracts open. I credit again Tony Shores, Bob Lynn, Dean Foulahan, Stan Bresnoff, all of the individuals, especially Bob Lynn, who put in such an extraordinary effort to resolve these contracts and get us out of that grayness and that confusion and into a situation where we had some certainty for the future of this city. The UFT contract, obviously pending ratification. I'll note that there was an overwhelmingly positive vote in favor of the contract at the UFT delegate assembly, but we know there's a fuller ratification process ahead. The contract achieved a number of things that had been deemed nearly impossible by various pundits. Obviously, resolving a host of past issues, making sure that we had an affordable plan going forward, what will be over the years that were not covered by the element particular to the years 2008, 2009, but for the years thereafter, the 7 years, the contract provides 10% increases over that 7-year time frame. It's financed with a number of achievements in healthcare savings that we're very, very proud of. Again, we've talked about the UFT budget. We've also talked about the fact that those healthcare savings are extrapolated over all the municipal contracts. Again, pending ratification, pending details. That would amount to $3.4 billion in health